Luke Achterstraat is head of the Council of Small Business Organisations of Australia. Luke, thank you so much for joining me. The Prime Minister, New South Wales Premier, say, oh, public holiday. Hello, someone's got to pay for it. What is it going to cost small business people who are already struggling to survive in this, well, it's close to a recession?
Yeah, look, you're absolutely right, Andrew, and thank you for having me. I mean, the reality is it's pretty easy to announce a speculative, spontaneous public holiday. In reality, there'll be thousands, hundreds of thousands, in fact, small businesses wondering what this means, what it might mean. You know, in this country, we have a penalty rate system where small businesses have to pay 250% on top of their base rates in certain industries like retail and hospitality. So that's a crippling impost. And it's going to have a really big impact. And you know, there's been a lot of talk about the cost of living crisis. I can tell you this, there's also a cost of doing business crisis. You've got over 2 million small businesses in Australia who are really doing it tough. Half of them aren't actually profitable at the moment. They've seen rising energy costs, interest rate rises, rental costs, insurance premiums. So the spectre of another public holiday that will really impact their viability to trade. It's a significant concern at a time when they can least afford it.
It's funny, I've been hearing these Labor blokes saying, oh, it's, you know, forget that. It's really, it'll be a boost to business. You know, think of the holidays. You know, that's a great system, you know. Don't work will be great for business. Let's all down tools, great for business. But really, say you're a cafe and, you know, you're going to get this profit from this enthusiasm for the Matildas. The penalty rates alone, what sort of pricing are we talking about on top of the normal salary?
Yeah, look, that's exactly right. In retail, hospitality, even in some pharmacy spaces and clubs and pubs, it's 250% penalty rates, Andrew. And for a typical small business, if 40% of their overall costs are labour costs, you can do the math on that. 250% means their overall cost has just doubled in an instant. So in an environment where small businesses are already facing a bit of a perfect storm of costs, in an environment where half of our small businesses aren't profitable, you know, this is really just an additional impost that's going to make it extremely difficult to trade. You know, think about the practical element of rostering as well. Small businesses usually get their rosters sorted 14 days or 30 days in advance. So they'll be talking about, do we need to move things around, meeting the demand levels. So look, will there be people flooding through the CBD? Well, there's not really much point for small businesses to capitalise on that if they can't be open. So I think we really need to have a serious conversation in Australia at the moment about small business productivity. We need to get those policy settings right, because there's a lot of anxious small business operators out there who, frankly, Andrew, this isn't a public holiday for them. This isn't a paid public holiday. This is just lost trade. You know, our politicians will get paid, our bureaucrats will get paid, but our small business operators, many of whom have mortgaged their house to fund their business, to provide that local service and to delight their customers, they won't be able to trade. And it's the furthest thing from a public holiday, paid public holiday for them that's imaginable at the moment.
Now, I take it, Luke Achterstraat, you and other business groups weren't consulted before this little thought bubble became, you know, virtually unannounceable?
No, look, that's right. We weren't consulted, Andrew, which I guess is a bit disappointing. I think the timing of it is a little bit curious as well. You know, we've had several sporting tournaments where Australia's been, you know, vying for success. I think looking globally, I think the last time a national leader announced the public holiday was when Frank Bainimarama in Fiji announced a public holiday when the Fijian Sevens won their first Olympic gold medal. So it certainly did come out of the blue. And it comes at a time where, you know, since 1 July, small businesses have had to pay an additional 5.75% on the award rate. The superannuation guarantee's gone up 0.5% as well. So you've got these rising costs, and it just comes at a time where small businesses are saying, look, the next 3 to 6 months are really critical for us, and we need every lever being pulled the right way, not the wrong way. So I'd urge, you know, state and territory leaders at National Cabinet on Wednesday, sure, let's talk about backing the Matildas. The reality is the small businesses in this country are more likely than anyone to sponsor their local club.
Yep.
So in those grassroots levels,
honestly,
you know.
Well, if you guys look, if you guys weren't consulted, may I suggest, because everyone's saying we've got to consult, so we need a voice to Parliament. You need your own voice to Parliament, legislate in the Constitution, because the government keeps saying we should make decisions. We can't make decisions without consulting those affected. So let it see whether that cuts your way as well. Luke Achterstraat, thank you so much indeed for your time. Really appreciate it.